Hey guys, are we on? Oh, okay. All right. So, sitting here at Bailey Towers. For those of you who don't know me, Neil Bailey. For those of you who do, hi. And I'm hanging out today with Terence Gordon, and we're kind of in a bit of a deep dive discussion about his brand, Youthful Ambition, and what it means and what he's been doing over the years that I've known him. I'm just going to kill a bug. Oh, sorry, he's dead. That's the end of that. No ambition left for him, right? So, Terence has done a lot of work working with young people who want to be filmmakers, want to be actors, want to be directors, helping them. He's also helped me identify some of my ambitions. And we were talking about storytelling, we were talking about entrepreneurship and collaborations, and sometimes having patience, following your dreams, all of the, mismatch of things that we creatives or we entrepreneurs deal with. And I told a particular story. About 2 years ago, I was cycling down the Greenway. I had to get some exercise, get some inspiration. And I ran across a fellow drawing chalk frogs on the Greenway. And he had little cement squares that he was drawing kids' cartoons on, because the people that run the Greenway don't want you putting permanent paint. So he would draw these chalk cartoons, leave them on the Greenway, and the kids could enjoy them, and then they'd wash away and he'd go and do it again. I had seen cartoon drawings at various places on the Greenway. He'd draw like rabbits and cartoon animals, and the kids could follow them on the path. But he never signed his name to them. And so I stopped, as you do, and I got into a conversation with him. And he wasn't drawing them for notoriety or to put his Instagram account. He was a recovering IT guy. And a career in IT, very stressful, had led him to gaining quite a lot of weight, sitting in an office, multiple hours, very stressful. And realistically, in his worldview, the future was not bright. 40-something years old, married, a grandfather, a lot of life behind him in terms of family and work, and not much future sitting stuck doing IT. So he bounced out. He's incredibly talented with just about everything, and started his own small handyman service to be working part-time to keep bread on the table and allow him time to create and follow his creativity as an artist. Well, one day, long story short, we got into a meeting, we had a conversation. I told him about a crazy story I was working on, which was a collaboration with a friend of mine from 1986 that I met in Alaska, who is a pro writer. And obviously, as writers, I'm a writer first, as a storyteller. We collaborate, and we were collaborating on a story called Knickerbockers, Hell's Angels, and Two Miss Alaskas, and a few other things, about an experience I had in Alaska. And I told my friend Denny about this story and said, hey, would you be interested to collaborate on the story? And which I had no concept of where I would publish the story. And he looked at me and he kind of said, well, look, I don't want to go to work for somebody, I'm creative. And I said, no, I want you to read my story and draw exactly what comes to your mind, which of course he just lit up like a Roman candle. And we kind of got this bond in that moment of, yes, this is what I want to do as a creative. I want to interpret for myself. And we never discussed it as a commercial venture. We just wanted to collaborate on something creative. And we had the discussion, we went away, and some weeks later, Denny came back with this amazing cartoon, and it just fit the style, and I liked the style. And that really felt like it didn't go any further. We saved the file, we moved on. Interestingly enough, and I don't know if I can find it just sitting here, and this will be another story, it actually led to us in this collaboration, which is going to be a graphic novel about some of my more wild and crazy stories. So I'm going to teasing that off for another conversation. But what it did lead to is my story being published in this beautiful OTL, BMW glossy magazine for us old people. We still do magazines. And here in the magazine is my crazy story. Here's the cartoon that Denny created from reading my story. Here's my story. And it's one of my sort of more obtuse rambles, but it's called Knickerbockers, Hell's Angels, and Two Miss Alaskas, the unofficial tour of Fairbanks and the missing gas receipts. And if you're interested and you want to know the story, message me on social media, I'll send you the copy, or I'll run it as a blog. But the point of the story is, 2 years after our meeting, Denny proudly has his very first illustration in a publication. And it didn't come because he didn't set out to draw the cartoon. Oh, we'll draw that, we'll sell a story, we'll do something. It's like, let's just collaborate on something. And obviously I've been a print journalist for 20 years, so the chances that one of my stories can get published are a lot higher. But I think it was the fact that we put our energies together. And that's what Terence and I were talking about. That's what youthful ambition is about. You know, if we always come to the table thinking, oh, if I do this, I'll make money. If I do this, it'll make that. That's what employed people do. They go to work, they put in an amount of effort, and they come away with a paycheck. And as creatives, you can't do that. You've got to invest in the universe, and you've got to invest in people, and you've got to just stay in your creativity and allow these things to develop when their time is due. And, you know, some people will let you down. Sometimes you'll do a lot of work for nothing. But if you always archive the things you're doing, you know, this is a story that I started to create in 1986. It was from a collaboration with my friend Kurt, who I met in 1986. I mean, I can't quickly do the math off the top of my head in 2021, but that's a lot of years ago that I'm recreating a memory that Kurt helped me form, collaborating with my new friend Denny, and now here we are with this beautiful magazine. We now have published work. And that's kind of some of what Terence and I were talking about today, and how that is sort of the embodiment of the youthful ambition brand. Just input what you're doing, bring your creativity to the table, and just be open to these collaborations. And you know, you go into them not asking, hey, what do I get out of this? And I will just quickly talk to the graphic novel before I leave you, because I'd like to come back and talk how amazing this is. 100%, we have never for one moment in the creation of this graphic novel we're working on gone down the path of commercial success or publication or monetizing, because we strictly never wanted to use our brain power to start thinking about writing it for an audience, creating an audience, marketing it, producing it, selling it, building websites, doing shopping carts, credit cards, money, taxes. This is about a creative process. And one day when the time's right, and if it's to monetize itself, it will monetize it, just in the same way that this collaboration 2 years ago for Denny and I with a story and an illustration have turned out in this beautiful magazine. So